Alright, I'm just making a quick video here talking about this little drama because, it does suck to see. I hate that this is happening, but it is what happens and what everyone should know what happens when developers are harassed and they can't take it anymore. Because for ever since the beginning of the game when it came out fully for free, this is what's been happening. They've been harassed, lies have been made up. There's been so much drama to the point that people are just overreacting at this point. Now, if you don't know, pressure is being sold. At least currently. Now this decision could change. It's totally possible, but it does currently look like it's going to be sold away. Now, if you go through this, he's saying that he's putting up the entire ownership with no required percentage to him, meaning that he won't own any bit of it at all. Technically, if someone was to make a deal where they bought it, they could give him percentage. That is very true. That could happen. However, it's totally possible that the person buying it will not do that. Now, it goes into the monetization currently where it's making an average 1K per day. Now, is this horrible? No, it's not horrible. This is not a horrible amount of money to make per day. However, compared to previous months when the game came out, yeah, it is pretty lacking. Now, he does go on to say that it's possible the developers and voice actors will not stick around. You can't guarantee that, so he's willing to lowball the price if it has to be done. Now, it goes on to say that because of how much money they're making, there's also no guarantees of developers or voice actors staying, and also the bad press, meaning the drama that happened, that he's willing to lowball at a low 6 digits. Now, is it still a lot of money? Yeah, it's still a lot of money. Now, I'm pretty sure he's talking USD or whatever Danish money it is. I don't really know. It will be split. I don't think it's going to be in Robux. I really don't think so because lowballing 600 digits or not 600 digits, but 6 digits with Robux is kind of a bad deal reasonably for this caliber of a game. So he's probably talking actual money and not Robux. Now, why are they selling? Well, first of all, there was a new drama just 3 days ago, basically, where it goes on to say how there was homophobia in the server, and people were making a huge deal of this. Now, people should know that moderators cannot be on 24/7. They also do have a ticket system. People can talk about these issues and ask for help. They could have done this reasonably. If there was homophobia, they could have reported it. Now, is it possible that the mods won't check that? Yes, it's totally possible. However, I think it's unlikely. Now, nextly, he goes on about the harassment against shippers. Now, if you don't know, there was also previous drama about this where he was against self-shippers and stuff, and became a big thing that was just a entirely just a big misunderstanding against Serum, which is a great person, by the way. She's great. And I mean, it just doesn't make much sense to me. This harassment is still happening. Of course, it's not the developers this time that are being hated for it, but it's the people around the fandom that are harassing these shippers. And that's the main problem. It's the fact that they're not banning them or taking action against them in some way. Of course, they still have this ticket system. As he goes on to say, that you can report them to his DMs and they'll also block them. And also, there's a ticket system where if it happens on Discord, that you can make a ticket to get them banned or some type of action taken against them. Now, he goes on to talk about a copy pasta. If I'm correct, this is talking about how Zeal and some of the other developers and admins were talking back to someone that was basically just sending a big copy pasta. I bet you if I open this, I can find it. Let me see. Okay, well, I couldn't find it, but basically, it was apparently a copy pasta talking about the toxicity. They thought it was attention seeking. Now, honestly, I think this is the only valid thing right here at this current moment. Nextly, they talk about the homophobic stuff. I really don't think it was really homophobic. It was just normal jokes. Basically, that's what I think. So once again, I believe this is overreacting. Now, it was basically just talking about how Loopy and Sebastian were like basically homosexual or homophobic in some way as a joke. They were saying this as a joke, not canon in any way, just jokes. Once again, I think this was overreacted because people started making lies out of this, saying that they said way worse stuff, and I'll see if I can go find that later. Next, they're saying that they were profiting off of LGBT. Now, I do remember this as it was back in June before, the game came out, a month before the game came out. And basically what happened was that they were talking about using LGBTQ as a way to profit. As a joke. This wasn't actually serious. They weren't talking about it seriously. I do remember it because I find it slightly funny. But yeah, no, seriously, people should not have harassed them over this. It was stupid and it was a joke. Whenever these developers are making a joke, which is 95% of the time. But yeah, no, seriously, you should not be harassing someone for their humor. It's just It just doesn't make sense. Sebastian is queerbaiting. This has nothing. I don't really know what this is talking about. I'm pretty sure it's just talking about how Gianni is actually bisexual. At least I think he is. If I'm wrong, correct me. I do believe he is. But this is basically just talking about how they were baiting him to be gay or something. I don't know, but I could be totally wrong about that. Now, this is talking about how they fired admins or mods, and apparently he doesn't know who these people are. So you look here, it says former mod here. Sadly, Zeal doesn't really give a damn about what's right or wrong. He has his rules just for checkmark. He doesn't follow it. He doesn't let mods / admins do their job. I tried to do what I could to help out the server, but Zeal revoked my position under the pretense that I was killing the community by silencing their freedom of speech. Now, apparently Zeal does say that he doesn't know who these people are. So I'm just gonna go with it. If he doesn't know who they are, he doesn't know who they are. Serum is sending people hate to self-shippers. We literally talked about this last time. This was already overreacted about, so I'm just gonna. Now, lastly, he goes on to say use the ticket system or DM him on Twitter because his DMs were open. Not anymore, as the entire Twitter account is most likely on sale with the entire game. Cyborg goes on to say, which is the main artist, by the way, for Pressure. He did all the art, at least I think almost all of it, except badges, because the badges were competitions, basically. And he just goes on to say that he's walking away from Pressure, not the entire game. He's still going to work for the game, unless it does get sold and he doesn't stay. But he is saying that he's walking away from the fandom because of everything that's been happening. Now, if you go look down here, this is the main reason. As you can see, it's just a lot of rumors that are not true. I mean, and they're getting thousands of likes too, which is crazy. Like 1,000 on this one, 1,000 on this one. I'm pretty sure this is on TikTok too, which makes sense because a lot of the main stuff actually does happen on TikTok and Twitter, because Twitter sucks and TikTok sucks, honestly. But as you can see there, they just go on to say that they made Gianni so uncomfortable that he will not interact with the game beyond being paid. Now, if you don't know, go here. He made an entire essay on this entire thing. I mean, he's talking about how he doesn't want people to like harass them, which makes sense. Of course, they have not been perfect. The developers have not been perfect with how they've handled situations. Of course not. I'm not saying they have. However, they're young. You know, that's the main thing. They're young and they don't know how to handle such a big community, because if you go to their Discord server, they literally have 200,000 people in it and growing. Now, I was hearing stuff about how the other developers didn't know about it. Apparently, they did. One of the mods confirmed that they did know about it and that they agreed on it. However, it's totally possible it's not true, and Zeal's just doing this because he's done of seeing his friends being harassed and himself being harassed. I will like to say that most of the harassment was going towards Serum. A lot of it, at least. They just don't like her, apparently, even though she's a good person. It's kind of stupid, if you ask me, because it was all because of a ring, by the way. All because of a ring, which is crazy, dude. Like, a ring is what caused most of this drama. Anyways, that's basically all I got to say, man. I mean, I just find it kind of stupid. I found this mostly dumb. I support the developers no matter what, but it's their decision to sell the game. But I do look forward to the future if they do, you know, back away and stuff. Maybe they don't sell, which I'd be happy with, but it's totally possible it still happens. Either way, you should be just supporting these developers as they've been harassed for months. So yeah, those are my finishing thoughts. Support the developers, no hate.
If I got it, running on a feeling, thought I knew I forgot it. Neck against the ceiling, wear a suit if I got it. Tied up for a minute, couldn't prove I was drowning. I sent them a location, I